Hey friends, Amanda here with my BOGO ZK mug, and today in Cooking with Amanda we are on to a more exciting topic because we've had enough bread. Tonight you are going to learn how to make kombucha. That's what I'm drinking right now. So tonight's episode is going to be delicious, and you're going to learn a very affordable way to make kombucha right at home. What is kombucha? Kombucha is fermented tea. That's it. You make sweet tea, you put a starter in it, it ferments, and you have kombucha. Not that you'll never buy store-bought again, but you might think twice before spending $6, but then you'll really enjoy it because the flavors are so good. Okay, so let's get started because Mike and I are ready to go eat some pizza. So the step number one, you have everything at home to make this except for the starter, and you can get that too. So we're going to start with a glass jar, and we're going to sanitize it. So I'm going to stick it in the sink, and I boiled some hot water. Hey Danny. So you always want to sanitize because that's important. Cleaning is important. So I have hot water. I'm going to pour over my jar. Oh, and my measuring cup. Stick it on the sink. Hot water. That's it. Oh, sorry. You do not want to wash any of your supplies with soap and water, especially antibacterial soap, because what ferments kombucha is SCOBY, which is a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. So if you use antibacterial soap, you'll kill the good bacteria in your kombucha, and then you won't have kombucha. Hot water works just fine. So I have sanitized my jar. Ta-da! Sanitized. Okay. The next step is to make sweet tea. So you want to make sweet tea by making about a gallon of tea. I put 6 small tea bags and then a cup of sugar. So I have already made it here. This is my sweet tea. I'm going to pour it into my vessel. Very official fermenting term. I hope I didn't make too much tea. I made a little bit much, so we're just going to stop it there. Okay. And it's actually kind of warm, even though I've been letting it sit for hours. So I'm going to grab some ice so that we can stay on track. This is kind of like making bread, or yeah, when you make bread. When you make your yeast come alive, if the water is too hot, you will kill your yeast. If it's too cold, your yeast will not come alive. Ice cubes in there because I don't want to have to come back and do this later. I want to make pizza. Okay. It's almost cool enough, but we want to make sure it is totally cold enough. So this is step number one to making kombucha. Is making sweet tea. So it's 1 cup of sugar to 1 gallon of tea. So 1.5 gallons of tea, 1.5 cups of sugar. You could take a thermometer and measure this and make sure it's not too hot, or you can just touch it. If it's lukewarm, it's too warm. Let it get cold. Make your tea, let it sit a couple hours, and then come back and make it. Okay, so I have sweet tea. Ta-da! The next step is to add the SCOBY. So the SCOBY is what actually ferments the tea and turns it into kombucha. I have a SCOBY hotel. So my SCOBY hotel is always brewing so that I always have starter. Think of this as like when you make yogurt or you make friendship bread, you have to have something to start the process. Hey Olivia. And so that's what this is. So I call this my SCOBY hotel. It's always on my counter, brewing, so whenever I make kombucha, it's always ready. If you want an advanced kombucha class, let me know, we can do that. Okay, same ratio. If I have 1 gallon of tea, I'll do 1 cup of starter. Oh, let me show you my SCOBY. So SCOBY is bacteria that comes together and ferments things, particularly kombucha. And so it's in here, it's in the whole jar. But it comes together at the top of your batch as this weird ooey gooey looking culture of bacteria. And it actually forms layers. Oh, I can't do this at the same time. Okay. So if I can peel off layers here. I hope your kids are watching because this is a really cool science class. Or you can book a class with Amanda. I'm having impromptu quarantine cooking classes with Amanda. I'll bring all the supplies and supply the starter. So this actually comes off in layers, kind of, and it makes this round thing. It makes it round because it forms to the shape of your jar. You can even make jerky out of it and eat it. Okay, but I'm just gonna throw it away because I'm not yet that desperate for food. It's not yucky, Danny. It's good. All right, so I'm gonna do about a cup and a half-ish of starter because I want this to brew. And it doesn't have to be exact either. Okay, so starter is, so if I will drink this actually. It's very tart because I've let it brew very long, so I always have this batch ready to go. So it's very cultured. So I have my very tart starter. I'm gonna pour about a cup into my sweet tea. Just like that. That's it. You made kombucha. Congratulations. So this is super sweet. So don't worry about the sugar. There's a lot of sugar in there, but that's fine. That's what hi Emily. Next time we can make kombucha. So when we hang out, we can make kombucha. It'll be really fun. And pizza and whatever. So when you make kombucha, you put a lot of sugar in the tea because the SCOBY actually eats the sugar, the yeast eats the sugar, thrives off of it, and makes this byproduct which ferments the tea. So if you don't put enough sugar, the SCOBY will have nothing to eat and it'll actually die. So my hotel, I have to feed it. So I'll make maybe half a cup of sweet tea, make it really sweet. Like I'll do half a cup of tea to half a cup of sugar and feed my SCOBY so that's always living and not dying on me. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna put a cheesecloth on top of it, which I have folded over 4 times because it's actually too thin, but if you fold it over, it's thick enough. And we're gonna put it on top and have a rubber band somewhere. I'm gonna secure it with a rubber band, and that's it. It's gonna sit here for 2-3 days. It will brew, kind of like beer. So it only takes, if it was really cold outside, it could take 2 weeks to brew. If it's really hot, it could take 2 days to brew. So I'm gonna test this in 2 days. A little straw, I'll take a little test. And if it's too sweet, I'll let it keep going. If it's kind of sweet, I might bottle it. If it's tastes too vinegary, I can either bottle it and drink it, or I can give it more sugar and let it brew more. So I'm gonna taste this in 2 days. And if it's kind of in the middle of starting to be vinegary but not quite so sweet, I'm gonna put it into a bottle like this, and I will show you this when it's ready. And what this does is you bottle it and then you put in a sweetener, so fruit a lot of times. Like if you go and see mango, ginger, or blueberry, whatever. This is apple. Yeah, it's just apple. So it's gonna go in the bottle, and then you put it under pressure. You put the top on it, put it under pressure, and it ferments. This is called second ferment. So it ferments again. And so what's happening now is you're giving the yeast more food to live off of. What does what do? No. Listen, see if it answers your question, Danny. So when you bottle a second time, when you just bottle the first time, it's fermenting. It's creating a plain flavored kombucha. The second ferment gives it 2 things. It gives it flavor from whatever fruit juice you put in it, and also gives it carbonation. So now that fermenting is happening under pressure, and so it's carbonated. So I just bottled this 10 minutes ago, so there's no carbonation. So this will sit on my kitchen for in a couple days, and I will open it and taste it. If it tastes good, I'll put it in the fridge, and then I have kombucha, and that's it. I thought I was going to tell you something else, but I can't remember. It might come to me. It's not coming to me. Anyways, that's how you make kombucha. Yeah, can't think of it. That's all. So that's it. You ferment, you make sweet tea. Oh, you put starter in it. So the SCOBY is the starter, just like yogurt or friendship bread. You can't make it. I mean, I guess you could make it, but that sounds too much. So you have a couple options. 1, I can bring it to you. 2, you can pick it up for me. Or 3, you can go to Publix and buy unflavored kombucha. However, I've never found unflavored kombucha at Publix. I have found it at Roll Notes. Use that as your starter. You don't want to use a flavored kombucha to start because then your base will have this flavor, and if you mix it with something, it's just not a good idea. Your starter should always be plain. You can also buy it online, and I will send you a link where you can do that, and they will ship you a little package of SCOBY. So it's that gooey SCOBY stuff with some liquid. That's your starter. So that's it. If you have questions, let me know. If you want to make your own kombucha in video chat, let me know. If you just want to drink my kombucha, let me know. Basically, you just gotta let me know. So that concludes cooking, impromptu cooking class with Amanda, quarantine style. I'm gonna go make pizza and protein cookies with Mike, and I'll see what we make tomorrow. Bye.